Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 4, verse number 18, profound insight is being given into karma and akarma. Karma is action, akarma inaction, and that you are going to see. Karmanya karmaya pashyet akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta krishna karmatit. One who sees inaction in action, implying you are doing nothing. And thereby you are performing a tremendous action. And action in inaction. You are doing tremendous action. And yet we are doing nothing. If you can accomplish both at the same time in your personality, then you are the wise, the enlightened. You become the absolute yogi. You have performed all that is to be performed. You have attained all that is to be attained. And have given you the Gita formula of karma plus vikarma becomes akarma. Karma means doing your duty. At this very level, doing your duty, there has to be a subtle sensitivity and insight. If you are led to do your job on the basis of shallow understanding, the job gives me a lot of money. Money will make me very happy. And therefore I must compete with in my job and preferably pull some legs. I'm making a joke. But even without pulling anybody's legs, if your idea is to get into a job only for living a shallow value of life, putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshana, living a normal person, what was the goal in any person? To build up a good family, to see lots of good children, and create a generation of legacy. Putreshana, to have wonderful children. Vitteshana, to have a lot of money so that every child is satisfied. They wait for you until you exit. Lokeshana, you are well appreciated. Even you have passed on and still the roads are in your name and many things are remembered about you while alive and after death. You have a lot of kirti, fame. If you have that intention, then you are practicing Paradharma, no matter what type of job you do. It is not meant to help your spiritual evolution. You are going to, it keeps you away from your deeper self in the world of not self. So it's called Paradharma. Paradharmo bhayavaha. Movement to Paradharma is beset with fear. It will cause lots of frustrations, lot of tensions, lots of ups and downs, lots of stormy weather, tornadoes, hurricanes. Svadharma, on the other hand, it is in harmony with your nature. So when you perform Svadharma, you feel day by day benefited by it. With Paradharma, you have to wait for the day when you receive salary. And you look at it, you become very happy. Until then, you just keep yourself controlled. In Paradharma, you are not enjoying day by day. In Svadharma, you are enjoying it. Even if you don't get all the expected salary or expected result, you are enjoying it, you like doing it. This being the definition of Svadharma and Paradharma, you shouldn't get too much confused. Whatever duty you are doing, turn it into Svadharma. Adopt an attitude behind it. That it is in God's plan, this the type of duty has come to me. Let me do it best way I can. See my face reflected in the performance of my work. Work well performed is a wonderful mirror. When you look into it, you see your face shine. So when you have this stage of enjoying the duty you do, now your mind has two choices. First point, if you follow Svadharma, automatically you will switch into another level. Automatic. It will take a lot of time. But if you can adopt your choice, turn Svadharma into Karma Yoga. How can you do that? Bring devotion in your life. You are performing your karma for Chitta Shuddhi, purity of heart that puts you closer to God. That now becomes your priority. You are not performing your duty just for the sake of a result. Now you are in a state where you understand karma opens to you two aspects. One aspect, it will give you a result in the world of time and space. Whatever job is there, even sweeping the house, that karma will give you a result. The house will be clean. But if you have developed a special attitude, this is not a house, this is a temple, and I am pleasing God. And how wonderful opportunity God has given to me. And so with every sweeping movement, you are feeling joyous that God has allowed me to do all this. Wonderful. This is a temple of temples. The joy of that sentiment that you are working for God, that overpowers, excels the clean house. Another point, your action cleaning the house. I'm just giving a very ordinary illustration. You'll be cleaning the best you ever can. The quality of performance of your work will not suffer. It will become automatically enhanced. Inwardly, you are not looking for it. You are so involved in enjoying. The window in your heart opens and God is winking at you. A touch of divine presence. That becomes your overpowering reality. and go on doing your duties. And constantly understanding there is a divine will behind it. And it has a purpose. Its purpose is to go on purifying your heart, freeing your heart of mala and vikshepa. Mala is gross impurities, anger, greed, hate, etc. Vikshepa is confused workings of the mind, constantly distracted. So now I have explained to you how karma started with karma. It's of two types: Svadharma, Paradharma. Move away from Paradharma, that means doing your action with an internal sense of contradiction. I shouldn't be doing this. I should have had a better job. There are people who sit by the computer and they don't move their legs and hands. And they get their tea, coffee, whatever, and get a lot of money in the end. I'm dramatizing. If that type of attitude has not developed in your mind, of sense of contradiction, rather sense of joy, and then you come to the third step automatically, as well as you push yourself to third step by the help of satsanga. And that's your successful life. Third step, your priority is seeing your heart relax, discovering a sense of great joy coming out of it, becoming a source of inspiration to yourself. And that's much more than anything you can get from the world. If you are doing this, then you have followed that inaction in action. To have further details how an action can become inaction in your deeper level, Gita says, add vikarmas to it. Firstly, you are doing your Svadharma, action that is in harmony with you, which I have explained. Now your mind should be focused on how can you develop certain special attitudes within yourself. I will name few of the Vikarmas. Vikarma means a special additive, like a special spicing to your work. Dhamma, first Vikarma. How to keep the mind and senses under the control of your ego. Be a balanced person. You are moving in a chariot, riding a horse. Don't ride in an abrupt manner. See that the horses are under good control by the reins. See your hands are not shaking. And more so, see that you are not drunk. That point is called Dhamma. The more you practice control of mind and senses, better is the quality of your action. Two ways. It is giving you good result. It is promoting purity of heart. The action you are doing is bringing, just like medicine you take, and sometimes if you are taking it in the right way, you take full advantage of it. So karma added with vikarma, you are taking full advantage of the opportunity God has given to you. Next vikarma, uparati. Do not set your goal on the basis of ego's expectations. Understand what is of great value in the world. Gain and loss and all Pleasure and pain, all this comes and goes. That should not be your goal, living your whole life just to build up a house. Your goal should be love of God, detachment from the world. Vishaya Sukh. Objects of the world should not remain fascinating to you. If that is so, that means you are keeping a dull-wit mind. Day by day you know how they are changing, transient, fleeting, and still you go on looking for finding great rasam from it. Great delight from it. You add Uparati, not this. As I go on working, about looking for touch of God, a sense of divine within you, like a mother nourishing your soul, and different aspects of divine love. And that if you develop, then your attachment is towards God. And towards the world, you are developing detachment. Detach, attach. While this quality develops in you, your action remains the same. Now you are doing in a much better way. Because attachment to the world keeps your mind gripped with so many distractions. You don't have all the patience. You don't have all the concentration. And you don't have inspiration. A lot of perspiration. Next Vikarma is Titiksha. To be able to endure pleasure, pain, variations, like a tree has to bear with storms. The air can blow very softly, as well as air can blow very harshly. A tree must be accustomed to both. Similarly, you grow like a tree. And being shaken should not shake you up deep down. Should make you happy. A tree that is being shaken day by day is happy from this very root. As it shakes, root gives it more nourishment. And overall, there is a sense of strength and joy. If the tree were not given that experience, someone gave a boon, or tree will never be shaken. That will be actually a curse. A life that does not face challenges, that life is not going to attain something magnanimous, powerful, glorious. Keeping that in view, that's Titiksha, enduring, not being impatient, intolerant, lacking endurance. Rather, these great qualities must develop. Like your body must have good bones. Your mind must have the bone of Titiksha. Next great Vikarma is Serenity, Shama. Train your mind to have a profounder understanding that the real goal for you is not things that happen in the world. The real goal is how your soul can move towards God realization. If that project is kept in view and the project is clear, then your life is wonderful, no matter how situations may develop. And that has been dramatized in Ramayana in a very advanced way. Prasannatam yanagata abhishekata tathana mamle banavasadhukata mukham bujashri raghunandalasya me Sadastu sa manjula mangala prada. Prayer offered to Rama by Tulsidas. How does he pray? He says that serenity of Rama, prasannatam, is cheerfulness. Not cheerfulness of effervescent happiness, but very calm. Serenity shimmers with joyousness, like a lake, very calm, relaxed lake. Look at it, it has a little shimmer on it. That type of mind that is so relaxed, it shimmers. A divine presence oozes through that mind. That serenity was the permanent feature of Rama's mind. So when he was brought before his father, and father says, "Oh, my son, I'm going to make you emperor. I'm going to retire. You will be my heir apparent to the throne. Prepare yourself. By tomorrow, you are going to be the heir apparent. The whole Ayodhya is waiting for you. You and Sita, do your japa, austerity, and prepare yourself." Everybody expected Rama to laugh and joyous and run around. Rama remained humble. With humility, accepted King Dasharatha's instructions. And very next day, when he was supposed to be given the kingdom, Kaikeyi sits there. Dasharatha is completely in a state of distress. And in that environment, he is told that your father has given words, which means you are going to be sent to the forest for 14 years. And you are not to take anything of a royal nature, not even shoes, and live in forest. Rama hears it. Think of any ordinary person in that predicament. Immediately there will be heart attack. Expected so much, and suddenly thrown out of all luxury, all royalty, into the harsh forest of those times when demons used to roam around. Rama's face remained just the same. Rather, he sparked up little. I will have satsanga there. What a wonderful thing. Oh, my father. People have to wait until retirement to go to the forest. And you gave me the forest kingdom so easily. How grateful you are, am I to you. I'm adding these words to fill up the gap. That is called serenity. It seems something so advanced, so high, but that's your potentiality. You have to come to the grip of that state. And that is called liberation. Until then, you are struggling. You are in the world of illusion. Therefore, in Yoga Vasishtha, serenity has been described as one of the 4 gatekeepers at the palace of liberation. Just to reiterate, Shama, serenity. Santosh, contentment. Vichar, practicing reflection, who am I? satsang, good association. These are called four gatekeepers. And these are all vikarmas. Start adding them in your daily life while doing your duty. Your karma blending with vikarma will lead you to akarma. All your karmas will be destroyed. And that's the definition of liberation. But if you are involved in doing your duty without a vikarma, without a special mystic process within yourself, without a special attitude, bhava, then it is just like you have a lamp, you have all the oil and you have wonderful wick, but there is no matches. You have all the potentiality within you, all the oil, and you have wonderful ego, big wick. The lamp and the wick, it just stuck to the ground. But vikarma comes in, a flame lights up the wick. All your potentiality becomes of use gradually. And you begin to light up other lamps. And its ramifications are profound. So, inaction in action. As you go on adding vikarmas to your action, special attitudes to your daily performance, you are moving towards transcendence of karmas. All karmas are moving away from you. So that's how you see inaction in action. And action in inaction. You come to another level, sannyasa level. If you have already certain degree of purity of heart, now your mind is focused on increasing reduction of your vasanas. Your whole focus is how to keep the subtle impressions of your mind, vasanas, how to keep them dissolving. Shubha vasanas to gather positive impressions. Think of your vasanas like a cloud. Now your mind, you are focused on how to bring light into that cloud. And this process of doing an internal illumination within yourself to the outer world looks inaction. Here is someone who is doing nothing, simply sits down, meditates. But that calmness that is being practiced by a yogi at this level, profound meditation, vibrant meditation, it looks as if nothing is being done. But its influence, power is immense. Countless minds are touched by that. That again, I'm talking from a particular angle. The ideal point is that as you advance, you begin to understand that the more you are withdrawn from outer activity, say for example, you have outer activity, doing something physical from morning till night, and you are doing wonderful. But if you could do little bit of speaking and less of that outer activity, and say things that are good and inspiring, and share it, Twitter it, or whatever. that action of speech is much greater than your physical action. I understand it. Countless people will be interested, will be benefited by it. Your physical activity is inspiring people near you. Speech level of action inspires many people far away from you, even if when you don't exist, still they go on inspiring. Go one step further. Mind that is enlightened, sending out Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. May all be happy. May all be Buddhas, enlightened, Shuddhosi, Buddhosi. The words are uttered there very little. Silence dominates the message. The silence of the sage. That silence is vibrant. Greatest power it has. The stillness that is so shrill that your mind will blow up. These two stages develop within you automatically. And that these two stages have been presented to the society in the form of remain a practitioner of yoga, be involved in action. Then another, become a sannyasi. Renounce everything. Go to an ashram. Sannyasi means now you are moving away from all external activity. Now, Gita's message, whether you externally adopt all this or not, everyone has that same project. Begin with as a yogi and develops internal sannyasa. Become a sannyasi. Both at the same time. How are you yogi? Though doing actions, you feel you are not doing anything. Why are you sannyasi? Not doing anything, you feel you have done everything. Enjoy both flavors of life. Then we are living full. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita jnanagni-dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. The 19th verse. He whose undertakings are free of kama and sankalpa, desire and ego's affirmation. Kama and sankalpa simply means ego-based desire. Subtle point is being given. Yes, sarve samarambha. Samarambha, when we were starting to do a job, any undertaking, any work. If you want to start your work in a profound way, in this way of saying, you are Sri Ganesh. You are doing Sri Ganesh in a project. When you do Sri Ganesh of a project, you have started it in a right way because you have invoked Ganesha. But try to understand real, more in a practical way. If you are keeping yourself free of expectations of desire, of fruit of karma, you are taking the job, but your mind is not set how quickly I can get the fruit. When you desire only the fruit of karma, you don't enjoy doing it, and you remain stressed because you're always watching when the fruit will come. When you don't expect the fruit, then you continue to enjoy your work, and you are getting a different type of fruit, your chitta shuddhi. Your heart goes on expanding. And you know the fruit will come, so that's not a problem. But that idea that a result of your karma should grip your mind constantly, that's not there. If that is the disposition at the time you start a karma, then you have well started. You have done good. You have done Sri Ganesh to a project. And the project is bound to bring you great blessings. Next point, whose actions are burnt up by the fire of wisdom. While you go on doing your duties, as Chitta Shuddhi starts, purity of heart, you begin to discover, who am I? Deha buddhyatu dasoham. As long as you are leaning upon the body, continue with that, using the body as God's instrument, with a tremendous sense of inner pride that you are not somebody's somebody. Worse is still, somebody is nobody. Rather, you are God's somebody. You are servant of God. Brings tremendous dignity in your day-to-day life. The next point, Jiva Buddhya Padanshaka. In a deeper level, as a soul, you are a ray of God. Your soul should not be underestimated. How it has created this whole plan of your body, led by its karma, with amazing intelligence beyond anyone's imagination. Therefore, that very soul you feel so miserable. That soul in you is a ray of God. So allow your mind to appreciate it. And allow your mind to draw inspiration to develop divine qualities, because that ray belongs to God. And God has countless good qualities. Choose any one of them, or many of them. And allow your soul to capture, radiate, develop soul strength. Atma buddhya tavaiva. But go still deeper to the innermost level. There is nothing but God. And that's your highest attainment. You have been a reflected sun in a bucket. Your highest attainment, out of the bucket, out of the water. Sun. Therefore, when you have started your action with well-begun action, samarambha, without kama sankalpa, without ego and ego's expectations, and with vikarmas, when you have started your job, then you are heading towards burning up all your karmas. Because once your ego dissolves, there is no basis for karma. It's on the basis of ego, karmas are stored in the form of impressions in the unconscious. Once you have come to realize ego itself is not there, all the impressions that have been based on ego, they are dismantled. They are burnt up. Burnt up which way? Just like you have photographic papers, lot of photos printed on those film negatives. countless of them, and suddenly big flash of light comes and destroys them all. Wisdom comes into your unconscious like a flash of light. And if that has happened, then you are the enlightened. Tyaktva karam phala sangam nitya sripto nirashraya karmanyabhi pravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Having renounced attachment to action and its fruits, he who is eternally contented and free of dependence, even though he may be engaged in action, he does nothing at all, implying he is not creating any karma. Now follow the points that are mentioned here. First point, he who does not have phalavasana, subtle desires for expecting the fruit of karma, not how the karma is performed, but just to get the fruit. The joy experienced in having one's desire fulfilled is much lesser than the joy of renouncing the desire, which is a profounder fulfillment in your deeper self. The twofold joy, the joy of renouncing karma phala, fruit of karma, and the joy of identity with the divine self. And it is termed as asakti tyag, renouncing attachment, leaning upon objects, that's attachment. And Paramatma darshan, and having the darshan, having the experience of God's presence. Simple illustration. If you are learning to swim, first stage of swimming, your swimming teacher holds you, gives you a lot of support as you get into the water. And if we become so interested in just being supported by the teacher, this is called asakti, an attachment that is not allowing you to really swim. So you need to asakti tyag. Your goal is to move away from that. But then, if you are not supported, aren't you going to be just devoured by something abstract? Aren't you risking your whole existence? No, Paramatma darshan, the whole water, the ocean, the swimming pool, whatever, wherever, or the lake, is going to support you. That lake which appeared to you in the beginning a source of all threat, danger, fear. Now you have discovered the mother of mothers. It makes you play around, move your arms and feet and enjoy it. And you don't need any support. And that's asakti tyag, Paramatma darshan. Removing supports to which you are attached and discovering a divine presence maintains the entire universe, is supporting you with full concentration. Nirashraya. All support from the world of time and space are transcended. And you are supported by God. Your experience is just like a swan or a great bird that sits on a tree. And the tree is shaking. Other birds are afraid. Or animals on that tree, they are all terrified. The tree will will break down and they will be finished. The bird, big bird, not terrified. Why? Because the bird is not resting on the tree, resting on wings. The entire tree is just a short resting point. Similarly, if you have that bird-like consciousness, you are resting on this world tree, only for a short time. But while you are resting, you are really resting on God. And therefore, it doesn't matter how much is a short time and what happens to the tree. Your rest is within yourself. That's called nirashraya. You have no support. You are not seeking support from the world. Supportless. Nitya tripto. Ever contented. Though performing actions, you are actually rooted in I am the non-doer self. And with this I conclude. Om Shanti.